If you've been grinding Megabonk for a while, you've probably noticed one thing. No character scales harder than the Bandit. Seriously, this sneaky damage dealer starts off looking kind of weak, but once he gets rolling, he turns into an unstoppable monster. To even unlock him though, you've got some work to do. First, you'll need to unlock the desert map. That's the second one in Megabonk. Then find the Bandit statue, summon his mini-boss version, and take him down. After that, grab the Dexecutioner weapon, which you earn after 12,500 sword kills, and boom, the Bandit becomes available for purchase. Now, here's where things get interesting. The Bandit's early game might feel a bit sluggish, but trust me, once you get your hands on the right setup, this build absolutely melts through enemies. We're talking about the best Bandit weapons, tomes, and items that make his scaling completely absurd in tier 3 runs. The Dexecutioner alone can execute most enemies instantly, except the toughest bosses, and with the right combo, you'll be out-damaging every other class in the game. So let's dive in and break down the ultimate Bandit build in Megabonk. I'm quickly
Very small
moving
portion
on
of the audience is subscribed to the channel.
If you enjoy these types of list
don't
videos,
forget to
don't
subscribe
forget
if
to
you
like
like
the
these
video
types of
and
videos.
subscribe. Enjoy watching.
Thanks.
The Bandit in Megabonk is easily one of the most exciting characters to play, mostly because of how fast-paced and chaotic his gameplay feels. His unique passive gives him a 1% attack speed boost for every level gained, which might sound small at first, but trust me, it adds up fast. By the time you are deep into a run, you will be attacking so fast that it feels like the screen can barely keep up with you. That alone makes the Bandit a thrill to use, but when you start combining it with the right weapons, things get even crazier. Let's start with his signature weapon, the Dexecutioner. This weapon is what makes the Bandit who he is. It is a short-range stabbing weapon that fires in a straight line, and it comes with a small but deadly chance to instantly execute an enemy. Every time you actually manage to execute someone, that chance increases, which means the more you fight, the deadlier you become. Combine that with your ever-growing attack speed, and suddenly you are slicing through waves of enemies before they even realize what hit them. The Dexecutioner alone can carry you through a big part of the game. But if you really want to bring out the full potential of the Bandit, you need to pair it with other weapons that match his speed and style. One of the best choices for this is the Wireless Dagger. This weapon fires smart daggers that automatically seek out enemies, and it perfectly complements the Bandit's aggressive playstyle. You will not have to worry about aiming too much, just keep moving and let your daggers do the hunting for you. Next up is the Revolver, which might sound simple, but it absolutely shreds when used correctly. The Revolver fires multiple bullets at once, giving you a nice spread of damage that clears out groups of enemies in seconds. The faster you attack, the more bullets you unleash, and since the Bandit thrives on attack speed, this weapon fits right into his kit. Plus, watching a storm of bullets melt everything on screen just feels satisfying. The bow is another underrated gem for the Bandit. It shoots arrows that pierce through enemies, which means you are not just hitting one target, you are taking out entire lines of enemies in a single shot. When your attack speed gets high enough, the bow turns into a machine gun of piercing arrows, and it can deal with both bosses and large crowds without breaking a sweat. It is the perfect weapon for players who like a bit of precision while still maintaining that Bandit level chaos. If you are feeling a little playful, the Bananarang is also an amazing pick. Yes, it throws bananas that come back to you, but do not let the silly concept fool you. This thing is powerful. The returning effect means that every throw has the potential to deal double damage, and when you are attacking at lightning speed, you are practically surrounded by a storm of spinning bananas. It is one of those weapons that looks goofy but ends up being incredibly effective, especially for crowd control. What makes all of these weapons shine is how naturally they work with the Bandit's Dexecutioner. The Wireless Dagger, Revolver, Bow, and Bananarang all benefit from items that boost attack speed, critical chance, and range. Exactly the stats you will already be building for your Dexecutioner. You are not just stacking random bonuses, you are building a synergy that multiplies your power every minute you stay alive. In short, the Bandit is all about momentum. The faster you get, the deadlier you become, and with the right weapon setup, you will be cutting through enemies like a whirlwind of steel and chaos. Whether you prefer precise shots, wide sprays of bullets, or a rain of returning bananas, the Bandit has a way to make it work. Just remember, keep that attack speed climbing, and the Dexecutioner will take care of the rest. The Bandit thrives on speed, procs, and momentum, and picking the right tomes can make or break a run. If you want to maximize his potential, there are a few tomes you absolutely cannot ignore. First up is the XP tome. This one is basically mandatory because it increases the amount of experience you gain from every source. The faster you level, the faster your passive attack speed ramps up, which in turn makes all your weapons, especially the Dexecutioner, hit like a hurricane. Next, we have the Luck Tome. Think of this as a ticket to all the best goodies in the game. Increasing your luck stat improves your chance to get high quality items, upgrades, or any other bonus reward that the game throws at you. For the Bandit, more high quality items often means more synergies with the Dexecutioner and your secondary weapons, and that's huge when trying to clear waves quickly. Then there's the Cursed Tome. This one is a bit of a wildcard. It increases difficulty by boosting enemy spawns and stats, but here's the thing, it also ramps up rewards. If you are confident in your skills and want to maximize item drops and loot density, the Cursed Tome can give you a serious advantage in the mid to late game. It pairs well with XP and luck tomes because more enemies mean more experience and chances to PROs items. Now, let's talk about the Cooldown Tome, which is arguably the Bandit's best offensive tome. This one gives you bonus attack speed, which directly synergizes with the Bandit's passive. Faster attacks mean more chances to trigger the Dexecutioner's Execute effect and Joe's Dagger on-hit abilities. In short, the Cooldown Tome makes the Bandit feel like a literal whirlwind of destruction, and you should try to grab it in your 3rd or 4th tome slot if possible. If you cannot find the Cooldown Tome, don't worry, there are solid alternatives. The Precision Tome is fantastic for Bandit players because it increases your critical hit chance. Many of the Bandit's weapons have naturally high crit chance, so stacking this can lead to overcrit, where your damage exceeds normal expectations and basically melts bosses and crowds alike. The Quantity Tome is another excellent option. This tome increases the number of projectiles or attacks you have, which can dramatically increase the number of executes you perform. Imagine your Dexecutioner firing multiple hits per swing, or Joe's Dagger raining down extra attacks. Every additional projectile is another chance to trigger that satisfying execute. Then there's the Damage Tome. Straightforward but effective, it simply increases the damage of your attacks. While it doesn't offer the scaling potential of cooldown or precision, it ensures that every hit you land hits harder, helping you cut through tougher tier 3 enemies or final bosses. When building your Bandit setup, try to prioritize XP, luck, and cursed tomes in the early run. These 3 are basically your foundation. Without them, reaching tier 3 or even standing a chance against the final boss becomes much harder. Seriously, if you don't see at least 1 XP or luck tome in the first 5 minutes, consider restarting your run. To make finding the right tomes easier, use refreshes and banishes. These mechanics help narrow down your options until the game basically has no choice but to offer one of the key tomes you are after. It's a bit of patience mixed with strategy, but it pays off big time when your run starts rolling. Once you've secured XP, luck, and cursed tomes, start looking for offensive tomes to amplify your damage output. Cooldown Tome is the ideal pick, but precision, quantity, and damage tomes are all viable alternatives depending on your weapon setup and playstyle. One thing to remember is that synergy is everything for the Bandit. Cooldown Tome stacks beautifully with your passive attack speed, while Precision Tome stacks with weapons that have naturally high crit chance. Quantity Tome multiplies your execute potential, and Damage Tome ensures every hit counts. Combining these correctly can make the Bandit an unstoppable force. Finally, remember that tome selection is as much about adapting to what the game gives you as it is about planning. Not every run will offer the perfect setup, but knowing which tomes provide the biggest impact allows you to make smart choices and maximize the Bandit's chaotic, high-speed potential. Play fast, pick smart, and the Dexecutioner will do the rest. When it comes to the Bandit in Megabonk, items are just as important as your weapons and tomes. You want anything that either boosts your critical hits, increases chances to PROC effects, or just straight up works with your Dexecutioner and passive attack speed. Picking the right items can turn a good Bandit run into an absolutely insane one. Let's start with the common items. Moldy Cheese is a favorite for a reason. It gives you a 40% chance to poison enemies on a hit, which works perfectly with the Bandit's rapid attack pace. Every stab, swing, or throw adds extra damage over time. It's simple, effective, and honestly, a little hilarious to watch enemies slowly melt away. Ice Crystal is another common item that deserves a spot in your inventory. It gives a 7.5% chance to freeze enemies whenever you hit them. The bandit's fast attacks mean you are constantly applying these freezes, and suddenly you're crowd controlling like a pro without even trying. Time Bracelet is a nice bonus too, giving you 8% extra experience gain, because leveling up fast is life when you're the bandit. Forbidden Juice is perfect for boosting your critical hit chance by 10%, while Battery adds 8% more attack speed. Clover increases your luck by 7.5%, which is always useful for more drops and better items, and Skewleg ramps up difficulty by 7% if you're feeling daring. All these common items are small power-ups that multiply your effectiveness when paired with your weapons. Moving on to rare items, Unstable Transfusion is fantastic. It adds a 27% chance to apply a stack of Blood Mark whenever you hit an enemy. That extra effect stacks beautifully with the bandit's fast pace, letting you pile on damage while still attacking at lightning speed. Beer is another rare item that's a little risky, but worth it. It increases your damage by 20%, but costs 5% of your maximum health. With careful play, the trade-off is almost always worth it, especially in the mid-game when you need to clear enemies faster. Backpack is a surprisingly powerful rare item. It increases your projectile count for all weapons by 1. If you're using the Dexecutioner or Joe's Dagger, that's extra executes every attack, and the more executes, the higher your damage ramps. Demonic Blade is also excellent because crits now have a 25% chance to heal you. You stay alive longer, deal more damage, and keep the chaos going. Epic items are a bit harder to come by, but some are worth hunting. Grandma's Secret Tonic is amazing if you are focusing on crits. 50% of your crits explode, dealing 50% damage to nearby enemies. It turns your attacks into mini grenades and makes crowd clearing absurdly satisfying. Slurp Gloves add a little bit of sustain. Every hit casts blood magic that damages nearby enemies and heals you for 7.5% with a 9-second cooldown. It's basically a life-saving safety net during hectic fights. Eagle Claw is the perfect choice for aerial domination, giving 66% extra damage to airborne enemies and a small chance to launch them into the air. Now we get to the must-have legendary items for the bandit. Overpowered Lamp is practically essential. It adds 1 extra chance to proc on hit effects for all attacks. That means every poison, freeze, or execute effect is slightly more likely to trigger, which multiplies your damage over time and synergizes beautifully with every other item and weapon you've picked up. Joe's Dagger is another non-negotiable legendary item. It essentially copies the Dexecutioner execute passive but adds 1% more chance to execute an enemy. Even better, every execute increases your damage by 1%. Stack enough executes, and suddenly your bandit becomes a one-man army capable of shredding bosses in seconds. Big Bonk and Anvil are situational but still solid picks. Big Bonk gives a 2% chance to bonk an enemy for 20 times your normal damage, which is pure chaos in the best way. Anvil allows weapon upgrades to have an extra stat, giving more flexibility and scaling potential for your loadout. When shopping or collecting items, always prioritize Joe's Dagger and Overpowered Lamp if you see them offered by that hat-wearing guy in the game. These 2 items alone can radically change the power level of your build. Everything else is just icing on the cake, but these 2 are the core of the bandit's ultimate potential. Remember that synergy is key. Items that boost attack speed, critical chance, projectile count, or on-hit effects all feed directly into the bandit's passive and weapon mechanics. A well-built bandit run is like a perfectly tuned machine, where every hit, proc, and crit multiplies your effectiveness. So whether you are poisoning enemies with moldy cheese, freezing them with ice crystal, or executing dozens at once with Joe's Dagger, the bandit is all about momentum. The faster you hit, the harder you hit, and the more chaos you unleash. Stack these items smartly, and you'll be dominating Megabonk in no time. At the end of the day, playing the bandit is about embracing the chaos while keeping everything synergized. Legendary items like Joe's Dagger and Overpowered Lamp, combined with common, rare, and epic picks, make this build one of the most fun and powerful in the game. Keep your attack speed high, your crits rolling, and watch as the Dexecutioner slices through anything that stands in your way. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.